Okay, hello, good evening. Thursday night show with myself, the First Lady, Ange, Emerson, Ricky, daughter of the First Lady, and Mark Regan in the house. Thank you. And actually, before we go any further, some very sad news at the moment. Ricky's Uncle Brian, and he was a lifelong gooner, wasn't he, Ricky?
Yeah.
Yes, and sadly he has passed over now. So we are actually going to make this a tribute to Uncle Brian. And just out of interest, did he actually watch any or like the women's football at all? Do you know?
I
Or was
don't know
involved?
if he liked the women's, but he liked the men's.
Yeah, and he probably still probably followed. Oh, Ashley D. Oh my goodness. Hey, Ashley D. Thank you, Ashley. Long time no see, mate. This is a privilege. I truly mean that. Yeah. So as I say, yeah, dear Uncle Brian. Yeah, that was very sad news to hear, and for your mum as well, of course, because it was her brother.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very sad indeed. So we shall make reference later on. Well, where do we start? Oh, I don't know who this person is, but hello, Soul. Very nice of you to come in. Thank you. Really, really appreciate this. Thank you so much. Well, we're going to start off with a review of last night's match, which, well, the first half was brilliant. And then the but. So we'll start off with the first half. Mark, your take on it first half?
Just to be fair, it flew by in a bit of a flash, really, with the goals.
Yes.
Watching it, I was like, oh, there's another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, they played really well. I just thought they played really well. Very confident on the ball, midfield. Yeah, really, really strong performance. Strong first half. Certainly, anyway. Definitely.
Yeah, Emerson?
Well, about the same, really. As I said, the goals came at the right time. As I said, I know we could have scored a few more before the break, but as I said, the goals came at the right time. Different goal scorers, as predicted. At first, I thought the first goal was a 9 goal, but when I looked back at it again, it was Caitlin's ball that was credited the first goal. So that's all I can say regarding the first half.
Yeah, as I say, yeah, they're firing, really dominating, considering it's away from home. And then we got to the second half. And another injury. Yes.
Yeah.
Poor Leah Vouty. Wally, as you know. Yep, just signed. It's a person new contract, actually, isn't it? They extend their contracts and then help they go and get injured. Yes, and said young player who made a very reckless challenge on her. All of 19. What I didn't know was she's out on loan from Chelsea.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
After the fact. So, yeah, a definite reckless challenge. And I think I thought what was not the challenge, but I thought what was good was the referee actually took the time to consult. They were obviously in communication with the linesman, which is good to see, because we don't see that enough, I don't think, in the men's game. Because I think they rely in the men's game, they rely too much on VAR.
Yes,
and
of course. Yeah.
The communication that had obviously happened between the lines and the referee, so it worked well, and she took her time and made the correct decision.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry, that girl holding her shirt over her head and the so-called tears didn't wash with me. Sorry.
No, they didn't.
With me. Oh, sorry, no. Michael's just popped up just to say he can't get on tonight, but hopefully he can come in the chat. Yeah, I'm sorry, maybe I sound very harsh, and she's only a young. But I'll grow up. We'll put the Chelsea bit aside. I won't totally demonise her, but to me, that's mismanagement of style of play as well, isn't it? So whatever their manager is there at Everton. Yeah, I'm sorry. He's got to take ownership for that. He's under her wing. She's a young player. I just don't find it acceptable at all. Yeah, Ricky. So on the whole, Because obviously you didn't travel up there, did you?
No, I watched it
No.
on TV.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think you'd probably say same as us. Great first half performance. Soon as
Yeah.
down, it kind of a bit like with Leah Williamson, wasn't it? It just kind of kills the game.
As we said when we was talking in the chat,
Yeah.
we said that the girls was on fire.
Yeah, that's it, that first half. And then after that, and all right, I'm going to give Everton their due, considering they're down to 10. They did crank it up a bit, and that goal was a bit unfortunate. But I think once again, it just rattled our players, and it would. All right, I know Jonas has certainly said, on quite a few occasions to always prepare for the unexpected, and he's cool as a cucumber, but even he must have been thinking, my God, is this happening again? And just so, Emerson, I want to get your take, because you was John's on, evening John, you were saying that Leah had already had an ACL, hadn't she?
Yeah, she had an ACL a few years earlier, thing like that. But she came back from that, and as we said, no one knows what the injury is as such, because I've been on the various groups today. I put out a little thing on one of my groups that I'm on to say that she had a leg injury, and lo and behold, I got a lot of comments on it to say it wasn't a leg injury, it was an ankle injury, it wasn't an ACL, this and that. Everything. No one knows. No one knows what injury she picked up. The only way we'll know is that hopefully by tomorrow, the medical people, someone from Arsenal should come out and make a statement to say what the injury is. Then it puts everybody out their misery, because what Giannis did say after the match, he said it's a bad one. It's going to be an assess. So whether she went to a local hospital in Liverpool, after she was stretched off to go down the tunnel, I doubt it. Because thing like that, because normally with them sort of matches, you normally see two ambulances. I only saw one. Where the other one would be positioned, I wouldn't know. So the only way we'll know, we get a better idea either tomorrow or when Jonas does his post-match interview prior to the Chelsea game on Sunday. So most probably we're here on Sunday to see what injury she picked up.
I mean, I hope she hasn't got like another egg, because it can happen. You can have more than
that's
one.
True. That's true. But looking at it, the way she was, as I said, the way she was on the stretcher and that boot over her left leg looks like it's a broken ankle. I won't say it. At first, I thought it was an ACL. That's what everybody was dreading. It was going to be another, the ACL curse has happened again, everything like that. But looking at it, I would say she's broken her ankle, and she could be out between 6 to 9 months, pending how bad the break was.
Yeah. And I mean, considering that she's probably only signed for a couple of years, with that extension, she's going to miss a season.
It's a possibility. If it's an ACL, definitely. If it's a broken leg, she may come back. But I think Arsenal will take their time to let her come back. Let's see. As I said, first of all, let's see what injury it is first.
Well,
then we could go from there, because then we could talk about it in next Thursday's show to see what injury she picks up. Because that's one thing I didn't like to see myself. Because when I saw it, I said to myself, she's in trouble here.
Well, of course. Yeah, no, so like I said, another major player in a already very depleted squad. I really can't wait till the end of the season now. I really can't. It's just, sorry guys, no disrespect to the men. We've got second Woodward next, but for the women, it's starting to be a nightmare now, isn't it? Yes. It truly is. Yeah, too many players now. Way too many. And of course, that takes me on to the next thing, previewing the Chelsea game. But actually,
Palova's doing good.
Pardon?
Palova's.
Oh, yeah. I was going to come back to general performance in a minute, but I just quickly want to review this Chelsea game. Emerson and Ricky, are you going?
No.
No.
No, because it's sold out anyway. You won't get a ticket for love for money. I may go for the game against Aston Villa at the end because obviously everybody wants to see it, give a farewell to Jordan Nobbs as well for the last time. So I may go to that. Plus, I haven't got a ticket for that one.
I think Aston Villa's game sold out.
Yeah, we know that. I know that, but I'm saying I'll just go. I'll go a certain way. I'll go. As I said, I won't just go in. I'll just sample up the atmosphere and things like that because I won't be mostly going to the Arsenal players. I'll see what the Aston Villa players are going to be like as well. So things like that. So it'd be nice to see Jordan Nobbs as well. So as the as a final match.
What are you going on Aston Villa's bit or not?
No. There's a certain way. There's a certain way I go to matches where you hardly see me when I'm at the match.
Oh, because I was gonna go as well, but it sold out. So
I know it sold out within 20 minutes after they released it because I said it boils down to the loyal supporters that go week in week out. Fair enough, they're loyal supporters. Then you get these other fans who just want to go because obviously it's a Sunday afternoon, early kickoff, something like that. They're going to do updates on Sky Sports on the final day. They've already said that, something like that. So I'm not going to stay at home and just get updates. I'd rather be there and see what happens. But as I said, we take one game at a time. We've got Chelsea this Sunday and things like that, and we'll see where we go.
How are you going to do it then?
Well, I'll find a way. Don't you worry. I'll find a way. I've done it before, but nowadays it's different.
Well.
No. You won't able to do it the way I do it. That's for sure.
No, Ricky, Emerson. Ricky's dropping a hint here. You don't want it.
Yeah, but I'm saying what I'm trying to say. The way I will do it is slightly different. It's slightly different than what I normally would do at ladies' matches. In the past, I would have got away with it, but not now. Not now, because there'll be two, eagle eyes looking at you, thinking, "Why's he coming in at lastminute.com?" Something like that, thinking that he's going to get in. So I'm not going to review anymore like that. So
you're going in disguise then? Okay. Right.
Sorry,
I'm out of line. Okay. Anyway, back to this game. The Chelsea one. I'm really not looking forward to that.
No, I'm not either now.
No.
It's like
I would have been with a few more players, but
have you got a spare set of boots, Angie? Do you fancy?
Yeah, I think Ricky had better luck than me. She's young. But seriously, I'm not looking forward to it.
You think I should go on the pitch as well?
Yeah.
I think you should play Ricky. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because we haven't even got Michelle because she's in that tournament, which I'm going to talk about a bit later. So we're down with her.
I'll be the Beth Mead bit.
Yeah, that's it. So,
oh, Beth Mead, yeah, you can be Beth. Yeah, you can be England's darling, of course. And sort that out.
Regarding that match, as you said you're a bit nervous, both of you and Mark. As I said, I'm a bit nervous myself because the question is, how many goals will we concede in that match? That's that's going to be a big question. Yeah. If we get a draw, and Man United is a big favourite by beating Man City, I think that's us clear for third place. Because that's the only scenario that can happen. If we lose and Man City win, then it's all to play for against Aston Villa and whoever Man City play in their last match. I think they're away to someone, but I'm not sure who. So I know we got a better goal difference as well. That's another thing is if we had scored more goals last night, boost the goal difference a bit more, then Man City can't catch us. But if we beat Chelsea, it's a bonus. Then we know the bulldog.
Sorry, it'd be a miracle.
Then we bulldog. I think that you'd be right there.
Just park the bus 10 behind the ball, get a draw.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as much as the men beating Man City. And the saddest thing is, when we had a bit more depth, we did it in the Continental Tires Cup, but we've just lost more players since. And, you know, sorry, I'm going to come back to you here, Ricky, because, yes, you're right. Our new signings have been amazing. Pelova, how do you pronounce her name? They really have been amazing. Can't fault them. They've slotted in.
Yeah,
she's quite an old hand there. No, Sabrina's one of the. Oh, I love Sabrina, but yeah, Well, I know what you're saying. But you know, particularly these young girls, they've done so, and even that youngest one, what's her name? Is it Freya, the academy girl?
Yeah, Freya Godfrey.
That's it, Freya Godfrey. But she doesn't seem scared to play.
No. She nearly scored as well.
Well, yeah, actually, so that's all good, but unfortunately, not against Chelsea. Just that's all I keep banging on about. I'm not looking forward to it. I'll personally be amazed now if we draw, and it'll. Yeah, I hate saying it, but I'll just be amazed.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Angel. I think I'd bite your hand off for a draw now at the moment, looking at where we are.
Yeah,
definitely.
So. Yeah, it's a real shame. But like I said,
and also, did you guys know that they have signed a player already, Chelsea?
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, some a player from Eintracht Frankfurt in July. Apparently, she signs. She puts pen to paper in July, something like that. And they're hoping they're going to release some players as well because. Player just came. I'm not sure if you've seen Sky Sports News in the last couple of hours. They said a defender Eriksson and a partner Harden will leave because I got feeling because there's rumours that they're going to go back to Bayern Munich and obviously Bayern Munich going to release them. They're going to offload some players as well. So where their Bayern Munich players are going to go, we don't know. We have to wait and see. And like that because Bayern Munich have near enough won the Germans League. Thing like that because Wolfsburg lost the other week 4-0, so thing like that. So it's all to play for in Germans League. Dutch league's near enough sewn up. French league's sewn up. Italian league I think sewn up. So they're the only major leagues, and Spanish league sewn up. So all the other leagues, I'm not interested. So that's the latest news regarding all the other teams in Europe that are still currently playing as well. Because we know Barcelona. Because we know with the big ones in June, on June the 3rd, Wolfsburg versus Barcelona, at PSV's ground in Holland. They're sold out. And thanks to UEFA, they've seen common sense for that match as well, because they both give both teams a big allocation for the match. And I think some of the Arsenal fans that booked their tickets, I think, sent them back and then they re-released them. And obviously, fans from both clubs have snapped them up. So it's a 34,000 sellout on the 3rd of June.
Yeah, sorry, Emerson. I don't know. And all of you. I think the big Arsenal women's group we're on Facebook. Apparently, we've been linked to this Canadian player, but she's been playing for a Portuguese team.
Oh yeah, I saw that,
and I didn't write a note.
I've seen it myself. I'm not convinced because there was an Instagram picture of that. I'm not sure if that's that same player or it's just her head put on an Arsenal shirt. Because you think if it's a new player, Arsenal will not. Well, Arsenal will not say anything. I've got a feeling what they'll do, as I said all along on these shows, they'll wait until the summer and see what's going on. Like that. I'm sure Claire Wheatley, I'm sure Giannis and his scouts, because I'm sure they have got scouts looking at new players because they know they need new players. They need a new striker, which will be one of their number one targets, possibly centre half and a defensive midfielder. And that's it. That's all they need for the time being. If they get any more, it's a bonus. But as I said, I know they have to use some of their homegrown talent. So that's where Michelle, Frida, and the other one, Goldie, will come in to play in the Champions League matches, and especially in the qualifiers, because we know the only one out of those players that are going to be injured, possibly, will be Kim. She'll be the only one who will come back, who'll be able to play in those matches. Beth, Vivienne, and Laura. I think Laura would be the more long-term one, one, and of late, then this Leah one, she'd be another long-term one. So you ain't gonna see Leah until possibly early next year if you're lucky.
Well,
depending on the news of her injury.
Well, we really are speculating, but to be honest, I think the worst and anything that's not as bad is a real bonus, and that's just the way it is at the moment with our damn injuries.
Just let Chelsea do their business. Let them get their foreign players who they want, something like that. And then, as I said, when Arsenal get their players, be grateful who we sign, because as I said, there's a lot of players out there out of contract. I personally want them to, if possible, get them to sign before the World Cup. If that doesn't happen, providing they don't get injured for their various countries they play for, let them have a good break, 3 or 4 week break from after the World Cup, then come back again, sign for Arsenal, and that's it. Or because we know the transfer window for the women is going to be near enough 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks before we can sign a player. Should any of those players get to the final, something like that. So it's a thing. So I think Chelsea have done the right thing by signing this player for July the 1st. Fingers crossed, Arsenal will do it. I know all the other teams are going to do it. Man City will do it. I can't see any other teams than the top 3 will strengthen their teams like that. So.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you the big speculation. I have never ever thought she's coming to us, but we'll see. I don't think she'll stay. Russell.
What, Russo? Well, as I said, there's still a lot of clubs are after her, because I know, as I said all along, Lyon, one of the fancy teams, because they're beginning to they're going to release some players as well, because although they're under new ownership now, they've got a new person that's going to run Lyon ladies and things like that. So they're going to have like a 2-tier system with the men's and women and their academies, whether it's the men's or the ladies as well. And then, as I said, I got a feeling what they will look at to see which players they want. Would they get any players from this country, England? If they like to go over to France to sample French football for the first time, or would they try and get any players from Germany to play in France, and vice versa, from France back into Germany? So there's still a lot of speculation of who's going to sign who and things like that. As I said, I haven't been looking at any of the players. All I saw is that one, what Ricky said, that one. I watched that Instagram post. I got a feeling it's just her head on an Arsenal shirt, pretending that she's signed for Arsenal. Because, as I said, we'll know. We might even know by the end of the season that we might have signed one or two by then. Who knows? Because we've still got a good way before the World Cup as well. As long as we can sign them on July the 1st, on July the 1st, to say you're registered as an Arsenal player, you're registered for the Champions League, WSL, then go and play the World Cup, provided you don't get injured, thing like that. So come back fresh after your break, and that's it.
Yeah. And good evening, Mr. Colin Young. Good to see you, mate. Right, forward. Let's go, slackers. Hit the like button. Like food, hit the back of the net against Everton. Spot on. But, of course, Colin Young, very sad news. Bounty. Yep. It's not looking good for her. We don't know the extent yet, but it's not looking good, Colin. And we're all very gutted about that. Yeah, I'm going to start saying to them, stop signing contracts. Just play, get paid. Don't worry about the contract rubbish, because it's a curse of signing like an extension or something now, isn't it? So, don't do that anymore. Just turn up, play, get your wages. That's fine. All this contract rubbish. Pay and go. That'll do.
Yeah, pay as you play. Yeah.
Yeah, too funny. Oh dear. And okay, right. I thought somebody might want to give us some questions. Hint, if you want to give us some questions, we'd really enjoy that. But I could just quickly talk about the academy girls, the England call up, because I believe we actually have 5 of our young women that are actually playing in the England under-17s. So that is very impressive. And they played 2 matches already. And the first one, Ricky, what was it? Who did they play? England. Was it Poland?
I don't
That's
know.
right. Poland.
Yeah,
It was
Poland. Yeah. And that was just 2-1 to Argyman, Michelle.
yeah, she sort of got
Michelle Aggie
Yeah,
girl.
got the brace,
yeah, so
yeah. And then when was it? Where are we? Yeah, yesterday, 5 p.m. And shame because I wouldn't have been able to watch. Because sorry, I should have said you can watch it on the Red Button iPlayer and UEFA TV as well. And they played at 5 o'clock yesterday against Sweden, and that was 3-1, I believe. I didn't write that down actually. Yeah, I'm
that's
pretty
right.
sure. Yeah, and Michelle got the goals again. So this girl, all right, she's doing it at an academy level, but my goodness, she's doing it very well.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, just considering what she's done for the Arsenal women, yeah, she really is amazing. Yeah, so especially with our track record with our senior squad, yeah, she really just needs to keep putting the girl in the squad. And to me, my biggest argument is she's got the physicality.
Yes.
Yeah, she has, without doubt. And she's got the confidence as well. Oh, okay. Yeah. John's just brought something up. Thank you, guys. Regards football betting. It doesn't seem to be a problem in women's football culture. Well, not that I've been aware of.
No. Spot on, I would say.
Because, as I said, I've never seen anyone doing like spot betting on women's football. You can predict the result like we do. Week in, week out. But as I said, for betting side of it, it's that thing. It's hard to really rig ladies football. It's hard to say if it's
there's one reason for that as well. Is because the disparity. I would say there's one main reason for it as well. Is the disparity in wages.
Well, yeah, but yeah, you're right. Yeah,
in the men's game, they get paid far too much money.
Well, yeah, of course, yes.
And so therefore, there's only so many cars they can buy, so many houses they can buy. Therefore, what are they going to do with the rest of the income?
Yeah,
it's a real problem in the men's game. Huge problem.
Mm. And the fact, of course, that I won't even name him. The said player's now got an 8-month ban. But what's he got on his shirt? It's a betting company, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all being
something like that.
Yeah,
it's being outlawed by 2027.
Yeah, it's all very hypocritical. And then, of course, it goes on to stuff like Man City, which I'm not going to bring it up, but I just have. And, goodness knows, there's too many other big things. I mean, all right, I'm going to call it out here. Nothing against Tony. He's a great goal scorer. I personally don't particularly like his attitude. I don't think he's professional.
No.
I wish him well. I think he's been a bit of a silly boy. I don't think he's good enough for the Arsenal, and anybody can call me out on it. But I don't know. When I see the young men and certainly some of the older men that Mikel has now put together, they are lovely.
Yeah,
they are really, and there's such a great unity. There's no big egos. There's a great sense of fun, but it's not like we had before. And I just don't think it'd be a good fit. But I'm sure a lot of men would call me stupid, but I don't really care at this point. So, but anyway, that was a really fair point, John. Actually, and you summed it up perfectly, Mark. And Colin. Question: do you think, given the fact that injuries are riddling the men's squad, and the women's squad, that something should be looked at regarding trained or physical trained staff?
Well, I can answer that question. I think there's completely two different types of training they do. Although they might train like the men's team like that in practice, something like that, and the men's one is completely different, because when you see clips, I'm sure you've seen clips when they show it on Sky Sports News, they show players like passing to each other, anything like that. You don't see them like play like a 10-minute match or something like that, at match speed and like that. And it's the same with the women. You don't see them play a match at match speed, thing like that. So it's completely different, thing like that. So I don't think the injuries have nothing to do with how they train or anything like that. As I've said all along, this ACL thing is more delicate women's matter, which I can't describe myself. But as I said, as a lady, I'm sure they can say what it is themselves personally, whether it's on camera, off camera, to their friends, to their family, and then leave it at that. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. That's all I can say rather than that. And for them to say it's a thing, the football boots they wear, that has nothing to do with it as well, because we know most of all the players now are wearing studs instead of blades like they used to do years ago, like that. So it has nothing to do with boots. I heard on a previous podcast, I'm going back on myself again. What I heard is that they said that Adidas is going to look into it and design football boots for specific for women's size, because none are size anything above size 8 in feet wise and like that. So they make my feet look like like a midget, something like that. So that's the realistic size. So let's see what Adidas come up with research regarding these football boots, and if it's a success, then I'm sure all these young players, for the future, will look at football boots of their own and say, this is what we're going to wear. At presently, all the kids at young age are wearing like mostly a young boy's football boot size and things like that. So leave it at that.
I mean, well, we're hoping to hear about there's going to be a lot more research, particularly with these ACLs, and it is more predominant. I mean, they said with the men it's hamstrings, and with women it's more likely to be ACLs. But well, as I say, and I don't want to be calling out Arsenal with their training, because I'm sure that and I'm sure with the women as well, it'd be very top training. It's and to be fair, look at poor Leah. It was just that reckless tackle challenge, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, she was just, that was just, well, unlucky to say the least for her. And sorry, Colin, I think there has to be a commonality with these injuries somewhere, be it at the pitch, be a warm-ups, be a cool down, something has a commonality. It's just too much of a pattern. I totally get what you're saying there. That yes, there is too much of a pattern. There is too much of a pattern, especially with our women. So I don't know. I think until we hear more, and I'd like to think that we're going to hear more from Arsenal as well, as we've been so unlucky. But not that I'm sitting here calling them out for anything. But this is something that will certainly, by next season, we're certainly going to keep an eye on it without doubt. And sorry, just to go back to Ivan again, John. Yeah, Tony is a young man. He may need help. Are his club or the FA helping him? Well, that is a very good point. That is a really, really good point. He is a young man. Well, actually, I think first of all, I don't know what his situation is. Has he got a partner? Has he got children? Mum and dad, family, and I'd like to think foremost that his family would be, but certainly you're quite right. The club as well.
Yeah.
Surely the club should be addressing that.
Yeah. I know Tony Adams has still got his charity as well, which he helps all levels of the game as regards that.
Right. Okay. There you go.
Because that's what he started with.
Right.
So, and obviously it progressed into other things. But I know he still does a lot of work with his foundation that he set up.
Okay.
Which is, I think, more addiction type, which obviously betting is. So yeah.
Yeah. It's of course. But no, that is a valid point, John. It really is. But yeah, I think help from home, and certainly yes, should be from his club without doubt. Well, as for the FA,
Yeah.
sorry, that's sweet FA guys. End of next. Sadly, really, really sad.
Regarding that point regarding the FA, regarding that point regarding the FA, I don't think they personally will help him, because the reason why, because I'm not sure if you heard today, because they was trying to get FA are trying to say get UEFA involved, so it's an international ban. So whatever. So if he's going to play for England, would that come into play? Because I know he's an England international, as we know, been like that. But as I said, regarding FA, I don't think they will help him. I've got a feeling it'd be more down to the club to say, if you need help, we're there to speak to you. We can advise you to go to this place, like as you guys said regarding that clinic that Tony Adams had set up for for these ex or current professionals, to seek help for what addiction they've got, everything like that. So the FA, I don't think will help him. I think it's going to be more down to the club that's going to help him.
No, that's just a really valid point.
So good luck, Ivan Tony. Personally, if he didn't do this silly betting thing, I would have liked him to come to Arsenal and Balogun go the other way to Brentford.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
There you go. So and the minimum we'll pay Brentford will be like about 6 million, because Brentford are trying to rate him at 100 million. He's nowhere near 100.
No, he's not 100
possibly 60, 70 at most. And that's where he comes into that Balogun bracket. Because if they want 100 million, you got 40 million going into Balogun, 60 million to us for Tony. But I don't think he'll come now.
Well, I will. I read on Twitter, but it was only Twitter. Can't believe it. It's like reading the papers, isn't it? But yeah, they actually want to keep him. I thought, well, if they're going to wait 8 months for him, to be honest, he's their player. I'm not interested. But I'm not a heartless person. Yeah, I hope he can get help for an addiction. Yeah, that's the best I can say at this point. Yeah. No, it's a valid point. And John Gooner, I was fascinated to see all the young schoolgirls football training opposite my daughter's school. A real sight to see. As you know, in my generation, this was not taught at school, sadly. Well, of course, John, me being a bit older than you, mate. Yeah, very much so. Girls did not play. I mean, I was never sporty, full stop, but girls didn't play football. Same
at high school. Same at mine as well. Yeah.
Ricky, Ricky, you're a younger person here. Were girls playing football when you was at school?
Because I was on, basically we were in PE, and we, like, the girls was against the boys, and the girls won.
Oh wow!
Because they had me on the team.
Super Ricky.
So I scored all the goals.
So you can get out there, fight those Chelsea women, and that was a polite version. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's good to see. It is good to see. It's finally getting the recognition that it deserves.
Well,
really.
Most importantly, absolutely. And also that's really good what John's brought up again, to actually see it at grassroots level. You know, that you actually witness it. I just think that's absolutely brilliant. I mean, actually thinking about it, in my after school club, I should actually ask the older girls, Key Stage 2 junior girls. I should actually ask them. Yeah, that's what I need to do. I write myself a note. Ask the girls if they play football in school.
Yeah,
because they have like external company that comes in to do an after school activity for sports outside, which will include football. actually,
Yeah.
and I'm quite pally with a young sir. And the kids really gravitate. Yeah, actually, if I see him next week, I'll have a chat with him about it. That's really interesting, actually. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't thought of that before. Oh my goodness, I don't. Oh, English Conversation Club, you've come back to us. Oh, we were so worried. Where you gone, mate? Oh, it's lovely to see you. I'm so happy. It's wonderful.
Welcome back.
Welcome back
Oh,
from me as well.
how are we all? Yeah, well, we've just been feeling sorry for ourselves over the poor women's team, and I think we have every right to. Sorry, all you guys. I mean, listen, I watch the men's football. I really support our lads, but I keep saying it. Man, we won't get that miracle. We really won't. But we got second slot. We got the Champions League. Really upset about Martinelli. Really upset about that.
Yes.
Not
Yep.
happy about that. Really not. But there you go. Like poor Leah, it's happened next. And actually, fair play to Moises. He did feel bad about it. I thought he'd feel flipping bad about it if he is coming to our club, wouldn't he? Sorry.
Personally, happy well.
I thought that's quite ironic if that is the case. I mean, I'm sure he's a very decent man anyway, but I just thought that'd be too much, wouldn't it? But yeah, oh well. But yeah, other than that, we're all good. English, I don't know, did you get to go and see the semi-final at the Emirates? Because we were all there, and I know Tired, and we haven't seen Tired for ages on it, but he said he was going to take his children to the Emirates to sell out, packed out. But I don't know if you managed to get there, which I still, regardless of the result, I just think it was such a fantastic occasion.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it watching it on the
Listen,
the
if
telly.
I could have got there, I would have happily been the sofa supporter. No shame in that. And obviously, for you, geographically, it's different because you're not local like we are. But
it must have been out. The atmosphere must have been unbelievable because it.
Yeah, it really was. And actually, well, other than the ones that were singing Wolfsburg, we love you in English, and I'm going to give them fair play to that one. But yeah, I mean, Ricky and Emerson, you had your photos, and they're really lovely, weren't they? The supporters, really lovely.
That's right.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, it was a brilliant atmosphere.
It was just so nice. Really, it was so nice to see, and it really came through on the telly, the actual support.
Oh, good. Brilliant. Right, Colin, there are studies out that dug into the difference in wages between men and women and the wage in perspective to the intake of the sport. It's rather eye-opening. Well, it is, without doubt, yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I think these are some things because what we're going to do over the summer period is maybe just do the odd show now and again. Might be a Thursday night, maybe a Sunday afternoon, depending who can fit in what. But yeah, these are things that need to be addressed, aren't they? I think the women's wage will start to get a bit better. I think they. But it's only going to be like for the big clubs, isn't it? That's going to be the other issue. Your Chelsea, and I hate putting them on top. Chelsea, Man U.
Oh, God.
Arsenal, and then Man City. Yeah, all right. We'll put it in that order only because that's how it is now. But yeah. Oh, and English is saying good evening to the panel and been busy with work. Yeah, well, I get that. Yeah, that's the thing. We all have to get on with our lives, and especially work can take precedence over everything else. But no, really great that you've come on tonight because we really have missed you. I really, really appreciate that. Bungie, I suppose the other danger is, and I'll just briefly recap on it. At the moment, because it's still a bit new in the sense for certain men who started to suddenly think instead of going with your mates to the men's football, I can now take my children to the women's football because it's a much safer environment. And plus the affordability at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when you're taking a family. Yeah.
That's a big factor, I think.
Yeah, very much so. Oh, what's English saying? Can Emerson change his angle? Maybe not. I don't know.
No, I can't.
No, he
I
can't.
can't make it wider. I can't make it wider like yours, Ange, and Mark's one.
No, because
Don't forget I'm doing it on my phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I'm doing it on my phone anyway. I
You can see
didn't
the whole
know where I'm doing it because so I think Alex pointed it out in one of the watch-alongs last week as well, thing like that. Made a comment, thing like that. But I said I'm doing it from my phone, and that's the way I'm going to do it because it's easier that way. If I do it on my laptop, it's going to take ages to get that angle that you got, that you and Mark have got.
Yeah, no, listen, that's
Like that.
it.
So, and regarding the angle, regarding the wages, because I think I've said to you before, because as I said, it all depends on the player. The bigger the player, and she's well known, obviously she's going to demand a lot in wages wise.
Yeah.
Now, if she's a low key player, she'll get the basic, the wage that they normally pay. Because as I said, I'll give you an example. If like Lyon, top team in France, they play their ladies a good amount of money as well to play as well, and plus they help them get accommodation. I'm sure it's with the other clubs will do that as well. Hey, help them get accommodation. As I said, their wages will pay their rent and whatever bills they have to pay. Possibly a car. And then on top of that, the players will normally get a sponsorship as well by a boot company, something like that, and then they go from there. So I'm not sure what the average wage that an Arsenal women's player get per week or per month, something like that. That's down to the Arsenal's, to decide what they're going to pay them, and that's it. As I said in an earlier show at the beginning, that Arsenal's wage bill from last season is double. So God knows what the wage bill is this season, whether it's gone up or gone down. I don't know. So it all depends on the player. The bigger the player, the bigger the wages get.
Well, yeah.
And then they've got beat, and then all the other players in the team have to be happy with that. If they get the same amount as what the other players get, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, and English, yes, you're right, English, yeah. Good to see you have two new panellists, Ricky and Mark, who are now resident with us. So that's lovely. And we're hoping to get, just a little shout out. Richard, it's actually his birthday today, and he could be with us tonight. But it was happy birthday to Richard, and I really hope we can get him back on at some point. It'd be nice to have him. But Richard, I would just like to say that Richard was also at the Emirates. Yeah, we all met up. So, yeah, that was really smashing. Oh, here you go. Right, well done, Michael. Right, evening all. Well, I don't know how you pronounce her surname. Chloe Lacasse is a 29-year-old. Whoever, thank you. Casey. Canadian forward who plays for Benfica, right? Yeah.
Because she's out of contract, apparently. Someone said so. Yeah. It's believed that she's out of contract. So if I get on free transfer, it's only the wages they've got to pay, and that's it. Anything else?
There's a lot of women I don't know anything about, so I'd leave that to you, Emerson. Whether she's worth getting or not, don't know. Can't comment.
I haven't seen the Portuguese league personally himself.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's fine. Colin, the study is not about the actual dollar amount of the wage. It's based on the wage in respect to the percentage of the income. It's actually
right.
Okay, fair enough.
So if we say, for example, if we get Russo, so she's worth say 500,000, how much would you pay her a week? Do you pay anything over 60 grand a year? Possibly, yes. I would say yes.
Yeah,
and thing like that. So look at when Nikita Paris came to Arsenal, she was our biggest signing of all time, thing like that. And look what happened to her. Really? Although she didn't get game time, which is understandable, but at that time she was our biggest. She was our in transfer wise because The
Yeah,
players
actually,
before
yes.
that, you hardly hear a transfer fee on players. You hardly hear in women's football a transfer fee. So if Russo was going to come, 500,000, she's easy can get over 60 grand plus a year, and plus whatever sponsors, plus whatever boot sponsor she's got as well. So she's near enough breaking in. Let's over near enough 100 grand a year.
Well, just going back to that, Emerson, I don't know if you was in the conversation with it, and we were off air at the time, but I remember Mark bringing it up. I'm sure it was. I spoke to my Steve about. No, actually, I don't know. Sorry, Mark. I think it might actually be my Steve I was talking to. A bit like what used to happen, dare I say, with Wenger, and I can't name a player at the moment. Do you ever really seriously think we did go in for Russo? Do you think we did, Russell? What we call him?
I imagine so. I imagine we went in for him, but as I said, it would have got him at a young age. It's like we went in for Ronaldo, the one who's playing in the Middle East. We went for him when he was a young player as well, and we went for that Zlatan. We went in for him, but due to what his agent said, I think what he said, he doesn't speak to. He doesn't speak to agents, something like that. So he was ready to promise the number 9 shirt, thing like that. Months after the deal was closed, he signed for someone else. Rest is history.
Yeah.
So all these young players that you see we get linked to in the past, thing like that, came back and haunt Arsenal over the years. So like that. Rooney was one of them. So thing like that. And look where he is now. He's a manager in America. Thing like that. So
that's it. Who knows?
That's all I can say regarding. That's all I can say regarding the wages side of it and then like that, because it's completely different. And as I said, all the players that we're linked to, just have to wait and see on the current market who's available.
Yeah, very much so.
Definitely.
It would like with men's football. Obviously, you've got to get at least top 4, get your champions, and I appreciate you're going to get more choice of players that you want to buy by offering them Champions League. I get that bit. But to a degree, it's going to be the same if Arsenal want decent players. Really, they've got to be offering Champions League. And this is where, through no fault of the women's own, they could be let down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So really, the top team now, you say if any of these female players want to play for, will be now, I would say Barcelona, then followed by Chelsea, Lyon, then Arsenal, in that order. So that's the way I see it now. Thing like that, because if Barcelona did win this Champions League, thing like that, they're going to try and entice as many, either English-based players, German-based players, French players, Dutch players to go to them, because they have a good pedigree of producing, of these players. They will stay there for a few seasons, then they move on to another league and make a name for themselves, and then, as I said, then they'll sing it, finally as their career. So,
but sometimes it's not always about the club, though, is it? I think that Arsenal have a lot of sway as well.
As I said my point.
So it's not always the big club, I suppose. We'll have to
That's
see.
true.
Yeah, that's it. We really. Oh look, we've got to get past this Chelsea game first. Get past that, and I think we're all in agreement. Get a draw on that one for how depleted we are now.
No.
Yeah. Let alone a miracle of actually beating them again.
Because I know Barcelona, they might not pay the biggest amount of wages.
That would be funny if we beat them again.
Sorry?
It would be more funny.
Sorry, Ricky, I didn't catch that at all.
That would be if we beat them again.
Oh, God. I'd be very happy with that. It's... I don't know. Maybe it's not that I'm doing the girls a terrible disservice. It's just be
It
so
would have
bad.
wiped that girl's face off. We don't like.
Well, you never know. Listen, I know the girls will do their utmost. That's the best you can say, really. And just pray another one doesn't get injured. Really is the best thing. And of course, the other annoying thing is, yeah, it's great to see we got Caitlin Ford back, and Marnham is really getting her form back again. And then, of course, you got Chelsea's goalkeeper. I mean, let alone the defence, but you managed to get through that. Their goalkeeper, she's something else.
Mhm.
She is very,
Yeah.
very good. Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see on that one. And then, of course, we got our last match, which we talked about earlier, which is on the 27th at 2:30. And that's at home, Aston Villa. What do we reckon with Aston Villa, with our somewhat...
Which one?
The last one.
Which one? The first choice or second choice?
Okay.
Mhm.
No, I was just talking about the last match with Aston Villa. What do you reckon against them, considering with our somewhat depleted squad? And of course, yeah, you're going to have Jordan Nobbs, you're going to...
Yes,
I think
and that's the season over. Then we could say, roll on the World Cup.
Yeah, but do you... No, sorry, I'm probably
Yeah,
not explaining
yeah, but I meant
myself.
that. Yeah, I meant.
Do you
I
think...
think we're beat them. I'm confident we're beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm going to argue they're going to be sounds like better than Everton.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to be realistic about it. Yeah.
But I think that after everything that's gone on, I think the girls will want to go out on a high.
Yes.
But
yeah, I totally agree with that.
Again, it will just depend on, like you say, whether we can get through Chelsea first unscathed.
Yes, yeah, very much so.
And then see how we do. I think they'll want to put on a good performance, obviously, but it's just like you say, it's worrying about the Chelsea game.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, we'll back them, whatever, because they really have been well, of course we do, but yeah, they really have been warriors, and yeah, it's just damn unlucky. And Ricky, where's Ricky gone?
I'm here.
Oh, here you go, sweetie, because I'm going to wrap it up shortly. I want to say a big, big thank you to everybody who come in the chat, because we like to have people to chat to. It's good. Thank you so much. But just once again, to remind you, if you didn't hear at the beginning, Ricky's uncle Brian sadly passed away. He was a massive gooner. So we are basically just a little tribute to Ricky. And I did ask Ricky if she wanted to come on tonight. I would have perfectly understood. And she actually said, which brought a little tear to my eye, that she wanted to make her uncle proud. And honestly, you make him proud. He's looking down on you now, and you make him proud, Ricky. Trust me.
Yeah. Yes.
And the fact that you're getting to all the matches as well, which is so brilliant, because that's all right. The women's is a lot easier and more affordable, but certainly to go to men's matches, it's so expensive now.
Yeah.
You've got all these stupid people on Twitter. Oh, you don't go to football matches. Well, a lot of people can't. I'm one of them. I can't afford to go to a men's match, let alone even try and get a ticket, of course. At a reasonable price. That won't happen now. So, and all the nonsense that goes with that. Yeah, I couldn't afford to go to a match. But I've only been lucky with the women's matches because of Steve, to be fair.
Yes.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I really have. But yeah, I mean going back to the women's, it is so more affordable. But yeah, men's are extortionate. Oh, John Gooner. Yes, no, thank you, John. Yeah. Yeah, condolences to Ricky.
Yeah.
Right, and can I just say a little bit about the academy, just briefly?
Oh, yes, sorry. I completely forgot about that.
Obviously there's been no academy news, but the good news today that I heard, that they played a match, but I don't know what the result is. That Ethan Namweri and Miles Skelly, Miles of thing for the under-17s to play in a mini tournament, whether it's an under-17s Euro Championship, I don't know. They were picked. They were the only two players that were picked, and also I'm not sure if you Mark, well, you or Mark knew that there were three ex-academy players that played for Luton that got to the playoff final the other night.
Yes, yeah, I did hear.
So I'm not sure if you knew that.
They were, but they did come up in commentary.
Yeah, three ex. There was James Shea was the goalkeeper. Henry Lansbury and Luke Freeman. Although Luke Freeman, he's out injured as we speak, and obviously, that Brooke Norton Cuffey as well, who was on loan at the start.
Yeah, he was at Coventry, wasn't he? Do you know what?
So
he's someone I rate. Sorry to interrupt. Didn't he won something the other year? Didn't he, as a youngster with Arsenal? I can't remember what it was, and he was on the
Young Player of the Year.
Yeah, and do you know what? I really enjoyed listening to him, and I thought, what a humble but sensible young man who's totally clued up and keeping it real. I was really, really impressed with him. And I thought he's a lad that could go anywhere and fit in with anyone. He really is. And I thought, I'd like to keep hold of him. And I think he's got his head screwed on. He doesn't think he's something amazing. It takes time. And he, I'm sure he's a realist. There's a chance it could well not with Arsenal. But just by what I've heard of the way he speaks, I'm really impressed with him without doubt. Yeah, sorry, Emerson.
Yeah, that's the only academy news that I can give you. I think, as we said, the thing like that, as I said, some of the players that have been on loan are back training with the first team on and off because they're trying to arrange a few matches between now and the end of the season for them to play. But they'll be behind closed doors. Teams will be unknown who they play, everything like that. So, like that, one or two may be in the. One or two may make it for the Forest game and possibly the Wolves game the following week as well. I ain't gonna say who, but we'll just have to wait and see if they make it, to the first team and possibly get some minutes as well, if possible. So.
Oh, right. Here you go. Public invite. Sorry, folks. Yes, John Gurnett, of course you can join us on this channel. You are more than welcome. Anytime, mate. Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Just, as English was just asking, you don't even have to ask. I can send you that link. Don't you worry. No, seriously, you're more than welcome. Okay, I'm just going to catch up again, Colin, now. Okay, I have to put this out there. The study was across all of men's and women's sports, all sports. And
right.
Yeah, and sorry, it showed that women took 13% in wages from the profit of the sport organisation or club.
Wow. Only 13.
Yeah, that's interesting. And men's sports across all sports took 72% of the profit of the sport.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Keep going with this because I'm getting a bit confused. I'm not very good with numbers. These multi-millionaire and billionaire owners don't have anything that is creating their loss. They are profiting and could change the wage problem for both men and women.
Totally agree.
Right, there you go. And on a final note, instead, we are sitting here worried about a billionaire losing 1 million kind of crow. Well, well, seriously, they could, and not only helping women and youngsters out in football, they could be doing a lot of other good things as well. But that's not, and that's not knocking what you said, Colin, for 1 second. But basically, there's far too much money in it. End of.
Good, really good stat, that, Colin. That's brilliant. Spot on there.
Colin, he's very good at that. Oh, that's interesting, John. Next season, seriously thinking of just going to women games only. Do you know what, John? We have a laugh on the chats and what have you, but seriously, you'd enjoy it. You really would get into it, John. That is the thing. Once you know who the players are, you'd be impressed by the standard.
Yeah,
Obviously
you
we
would.
appreciate it's going to be at a slower pace, but the technicality you're going to see, and you'll probably see it more because it slows down a bit, if that makes sense. You just love it. I'm telling you. I wish I could get some more games, although it's quite hard with Meadow because that really sells out now, doesn't it, Meadow Park?
You can
Yeah.
soon.
And also for me, the nature of my blooming job, because I do after school club. So when they have matches during the weekday, that ain't going to happen. I would like to get to Meadow Park, though. I really would. Maybe do a Sunday one. That would be great. But yeah, honestly, John, you'd love it. I really would recommend it. But then you
And
get
also,
done.
and also he will enjoy going to the under-21s next season as well, because he can go and watch the UEFA Youth Champions League for the under-19s. That's a new thing. That's another thing to look at. That's another thing to look at for next season as well. I'll be going to as many matches as I can. I'm sure there'll be afternoon. I'm sure there'll be an afternoon kickoff instead of an evening kickoff, which will be handy for me because it's going to be either Tuesday or Wednesday, which would be perfect for me.
Okay.
Providing I've got no hospital appointments on a Tuesday, thing like that, which is good for me. But I'll just have to wait and see who they get in the group stages first.
So yeah, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, sorry, Ricky.
Yeah, that was good when I went to see the under, wasn't it 21s?
Yeah, for Hemel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Was it? Yeah, it was the under 20. Yeah, because who were they playing? It was for the something cup. Gosh, it was only quite recent. I can't remember what the cup was called. But yeah, it was a playoff, wasn't it? Against I can't remember who they played, but yeah, it was a playoff. And well, they slaughtered them, didn't they?
Yeah. I think it was Aston Villa.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Aston Villa, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm starting to get my way around that site that you can, and it is still quite annoying because you don't get much info out of it, the FA, WSL, whatever, full time. But yeah, they usually can tell you who scored. And I mean, all right, we had you firsthand to tell us. And I mean, you were so good, actually. You took wonderful photos and you kept showing us the score. Wasn't it about 6-0 in the end?
Yeah, it was 6-0.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing, yeah. And of course, the fact that I thought, I do take back. I mean, Mark, you were so right when you said last week. Sorry, Ricky, come on late last week. That you really are one of the biggest women supporters as a female. And there's somebody else wants to, as in women, hello, come on this show and come and talk to us about. And to be honest, I don't want to hear all the technical stuff. I've got plenty of men who can tell me about technical football. I want to hear about the passion, how they feel,
exactly.
like when they go to, because like you said, Mark, I mean, obviously you understand football a lot better than me, but yeah, what you said, just see the experience and to see all the such fans and supporters there. Yeah. And that's lovely that it was, carried over to watching it on TV, which I well imagined it would have been. But I mean, just us going to the pub, what's it called? Can't think the name of the pub, but oh my God, that was so packed out.
The Tollington.
Yeah, Tollington. It was so packed out. I'm still gutted I didn't see Leah because I'm stuck right at the back. But okay. I managed to get in that photo. That is too funny. That is too funny.
Brilliant. It's a shame she didn't stop.
Well, I get that. Oh, hang on, we've got a bit more chat here. Did I put this one up? Oh yeah, no, I put that one up. Oh, couldn't get tickets this season, so may concentrate on the women. But you know what, John? You really should. You and your daughter go. You really go. Yeah, because I mean, well, you were talking, Mark, weren't you? You and your dad. Now you've given up your season ticket. Yeah.
Silver membership. 96 years of support between us. Yeah, that's it.
It's a lot.
Well,
Started
yeah.
going. He's now 75. He started going when he was 19, and
Well,
I'm now just turned 49. And
yeah.
I my first time I went to when I was 8 years old. So,
Oh, bless.
but it's 50. It was £54 per person. So that's 108 quid to renew your silver membership
Yeah.
to sit the ballot. You know, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't blame anybody for not wanting to do that. I really don't.
And to be fair, obviously, with obviously my medical issues not outstanding, I would do exactly if I was closer. If I still lived in Surrey, I would do exactly the same as what John was going to do. I'd now follow the women.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And to be honest, I just know John, he's going to really enjoy it. I just know he is.
Yeah.
So please, John,
He
just
is.
get to one match. And honestly, mate, because you can, they have X amount of games on BBC, and I'm sure that hopefully, Dan's, DAZN, let's call it the DAZN thing on YouTube, which is free to watch. That have well, hopefully, if they're in it, Champions League. I'm getting above myself. Please let them be. But you've got good access to watch them as well.
Yeah.
That'll be and occasionally Arsenal.com will do some of the big matches. So you've got, a lot of freebie access. That is a good thing as well. But yeah, no, I can't recommend it enough, John. I'm going to keep plugging it. No, honestly, you'll really enjoy it.
The key to it is how old is his daughter. If his daughter's round about, say, anything between, say, 8 and 15, that'd be ideal to take her. Something like that. Anything older, then that's down to her. But if she's in that age group, as I said, the earlier age group, that'd be ideal. Because then you can tell them things about about women's game and everything like that. So you can tell them who's playing, thing like that, who the players to watch, thing like that from both teams, thing like that. So because that's how I'd done it at young age myself, like that.
Oh, you've only got. You soon get used to. I mean, I was really out of the game with the women, and they were all new to me. And I think it makes it quite easy having quite a small squad, unfortunately. But yeah. And also the other fact, which makes it, we've got such wonderful big characters within the women.
Yeah.
Fabulous characters, So, hang on, sorry, I can't see that. Glasses on. She's 13.
Okay. Good age group.
Absolutely, and also and on the autistic spectrum. So and of course you could disability, I presume, because Ricky's mum with her disability, with her sight, and same for George, isn't it? So I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Because I go with my mum sometimes.
Yeah.
So, no, brilliant.
And reference to this ticket issue that Mark was saying a few weeks ago regarding that, although he said he gave up his silver membership, as from tomorrow, most silver and red members will know. I think Arsenal have taken out whatever membership package they chose for next season. That money comes out of their account as from at some stage tomorrow. So Arsenal will be making a lot of money from these memberships that obviously people have decided to either keep, for the remainder to the start of next season. It'd be interesting to see how much money they would have made out of that, those memberships, at the start of next season. Because they've already said about season ticket holders, they've got a certain date cut-off point where they have to buy their season ticket as well. They said their prices have gone up between 4% and 6%. So fingers crossed that they don't put up normal prices like for silver and red members, because It's obviously in 3 categories: A, B, and C. Obviously, we know the A is the top matches, B is the middle matches, C is the other matches. Now, the Champions League matches, I'm sure. Sorry, excuse me. I'm sure they will put those up from what they would have charged for the Europa League from this season. So it'd be interesting to see if Arsenal are going to bump up the prices for that we're qualified for the Champions League, depending who we get in the group, to see what category they're going to put it. Would they put it as a category A if it's a top team, category B if it's a mediocre team or so-called good team, or C if it's a rubbish team, or Europa League prices. So be interested to see next season how they're going to do that regarding the ticket situation.
Yeah, and sorry, John was just saying that. Yeah, no, absolutely. John was just saying that it'll be a good social thing. Do you know what, John? Yeah, it will be a good thing because. All right, fair play. And I found it quite at one point a little bit overwhelming. Yeah, when you're at full capacity at the Emirates, and certainly you're not used to it with the women. Yeah, it is sort of like wow. But when thinking back to when I went back in January, what did we say? Was that about maybe 40,000? Oh, well, could have been less. I don't know for the Chelsea Arsenal, Chelsea game. That was obviously a lot of people there and busy, but it was what I call manageable, if that makes sense. Because I certainly found after coming out of lockdown, where I was having a party every day in my home, and to be a total super slouch, and they're paying me to do it. Whoop, whoop. No, joking aside. But I suddenly felt going back out and going round, especially beach. I was all right going to my local little Asda's because that was always small anyway. But to go out into big shops or to go to really busy places, I suddenly felt how out of practice I was. And and I think, so it's best just how I felt a little bit after coming out of lockdown. Yeah, so I'd say just to go to a normal match, and certainly Meadow Park, that could be ideal, couldn't it? Yeah,
I would say.
That'd be a really good way to start. Really good way to start. And also the other thing I'm going to call out, and don't hate me for it, Ricky, but the other thing, I don't know, I probably mentioned it before, but I really did love it that there was lots of guys at the Emirates because there's nothing like blokes belting out Arsenal. Don't just, and I'm a woman, but I just love it. And for that women's game, I thought it was fantastic. I really did. So, John, we need your big manly voice, definitely. What's John saying? Membership changed from purple to disability access. Oh, okay. Right. Waste of money. Yeah, it's better. I don't know. Yeah. What can I say? They're all making loads of money, aren't they? Charging people lots for it. And I suppose in a way I can understand that's why. Although I still say we over exceeded everything, but going back to the men's, and listen, people can pay a lot of money to go and watch these matches, and you pay for your Sky, BT Sport, whatever. But and I can and I think more important. What I can understand why people are upset with the last men's match because I hate calling it out, and they didn't turn up, did they? It was a disaster. It was, but I'm a nice person. I was very sad, disappointed, but I just move on. I might lie low for a couple of days, get over it next. But I can understand emotions running, especially for people who'd actually gone and paid to watch that, man. It's at home. I can understand them being very frustrated because I felt the same when I went to Wembley for that post-lockdown COVID FA Cup with Chelsea, and our girls didn't turn up, and we had all our best players, and they didn't turn up. They were totally overwhelmed, and it was the most goddamn cold, miserable day ever. First time I've been to New Wembley. I actually vowed I'd never go again, but if I'm lucky enough, and it's an Arsenal, of course I will next. It was a whole soulless experience. because our poor. But did I hate our girls? No, I moved on from it.
Yeah.
That's the loyal supporter I am. But yeah, I can get that understanding. But like I said, the cook's Peyton, that'll do. Because at the end of the day, Man City are they're all playing cyborgs, aren't they? They're not real. Haaland's not real, and how can you compete with that? End of.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, but I just hope, going back to the men's, I just hope they win the next couple of games, just for them, for the supporters. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Just be nice.
Yeah.
And,
So I'm just watching Sky Sports News, so that's why I'm being quiet.
no, sorry, Emerson.
That's all right, all right. That's why I've got the volume turned down, because they're just waffling on other sports. But I'm looking at the bottom, screen, so if there's any breaking news. But all I can tell you is that Newcastle beating Brighton 2-1. West Ham are drawing 0-0 in the thing, that UEFA thing.
Europa. Yeah.
Yeah, AZ Alkmaar, thing like that, and they've got that Ericsson who's listening on Chelsea TV telling the fans that she's leaving, but her and her partner will go anyway. Hard as her partner, so them two would definitely go. So obviously Chelsea are going to use to rebuild and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, my love. Yeah, sorry, Colin's just come up again. Misunderstanding. Men 7.5%. We're men 7%, women 13% of the profit. Okay, I'm not quite getting that. The rich get richer. Well, bottom line, I get that bit, Colin. Yeah, I certainly get that bit. Yeah, the rich do get richer. And yeah, listen, the bottom line, I think I can basically sum this up, because I'm really not good at maths. I keep banging on about it. Hence, that's why I don't have an addiction to gambling, because I really wouldn't know what I'm doing. But yeah, at the moment, there's not enough profit to be made out of women's football. Part of me rather hopes that stays the same, because it's more affordable for the likes of me. But we shall see. But then I also appreciate for the girls, they want to be taken seriously. Colin, all while we think the players are paid silly money, the owner is cranking stunning profits while we are fooled by smoke and meteors. But yeah, listen, I think, to be fair, well, my God, look at the way it's going with football now. You're getting these Arabic whatever's. Sorry, I didn't mean it to, but I mean, look at Newcastle. I mean, that's owned by whoever, Sheikh, whoever.
No, it's actually owned by the country.
Oh right, sorry. Oh yes, sorry. It's the actual country.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Well, it is. I think it's pretty frightening, actually. Sorry, silly me. Yeah, my God,
crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Right, anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up now. I want to say a big thank you to everyone in the chat, because we all truly appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
And we always like to make anybody in our chat feel very included. And if anybody did give us a view, please pop in again. As I say, we got how many have we got left? Because we have got 2 games left, so we've got 2 Thursday shows left, and then I think maybe one Sunday we'll just, when we can all get together, we'll just do a total review of the women's season, highs and lows. Yeah. And might even get the odd rumour, but I think it'll be way too early personally. But you never know. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much, and we'll see you next Thursday. Thank you. Good night.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
God bless.
Bye.